Okay. And these are ideas also on the flip side that if you embrace these ideas, if you write them down and you meditate on each concept one by one, maybe in your family investment club meeting or whatever you do with your family to really get that wealth consciousness and build that financial culture, I guarantee that if you meditate on these five things, your family wealth will grow by leaps and bounds within a generation. So the first reason that lottery winners go broke is they just have no financial education. They have little to no experiences managing large sums of money, which leads to poor financial decisions. So what that basically means is it's almost like you get a brand new Mercedes and you don't know how to drive, or you got a sports car that goes 200 miles an hour and you've never driven a car in your life. You're going to crash that car. So financial education has to be as important in our community as dribbling a basketball, throwing a football, knowing how to rap, knowing how to twerk, and all these other goofy things that people end up doing with their time. Not to say that sports and twerking are goofy. You can do whatever you want. But in the middle of that, you want to have some financial education in that process. It doesn't require a lot of financial education for this to happen. In our Black Millionaires of Tomorrow program for children, we focus on very basic ideas that make a massive difference in the child's economic consciousness. So you can elevate yourself economically, at least when it comes to your financial thinking, by doing very basic things. Number two, overspending. A lot of times when lottery winners get a whole bunch of money, they do exactly what a lot of people do when they get a whole bunch of money. You just spend like crazy. Why? Well, because money affects the same region of your brain as cocaine. So you become financially drunk. When you become financially drunk, you behave like an alcoholic. You go out and you act a fool and you throw money around and you throw it up in the air and you do whatever, especially when you're encouraged to behave that way and you have nobody that's going to sober you up. Shaquille O'Neal talks all the time about the fact that he would not be as wealthy as he is right now if it wasn't for his mother. When Shaquille got his first contract in the NBA, his mother and his father was a military man. Shout out to all the veterans out here. And they basically said, you got all this money. We're not gonna let you do anything stupid. So what they did was they gave him a little bit. They took control of his money. They gave him enough to go out and act a fool and be a 21-year-old. But they said the other 80% we're keeping over here, and we're gonna grow this into assets that are gonna last you for the rest of your life. And they're also gonna build an economic legacy for the family. As a result, Shaquille O'Neal is probably on his way to becoming a billionaire, as opposed to, say, Antoine Walker, who did not get the guidance that he deserved, who did not have maybe the father figure or the mother figure that was in his life to make sure that he preserved his wealth. So now Antoine Walker is the guy who's known for taking $110 million in income from the NBA and throwing it all in the garbage. Number three, poor investment choices. Without proper financial guidance, a lot of lottery winners may end up putting themselves into investments that are bad. A lot of people lose money. A lot of people don't talk about this, about how many celebrities go broke because they're either super generous or they want to invest. They want to do the right thing, and when they're making the investment because they weren't trained on how to invest or what to look for or how to be prudent in investing, they pour their money into things that don't work. So they have their cousin starts a restaurant and they put a whole bunch of money into their cousin's restaurant because they just think that that's a good investment and it just doesn't work out. Whereas someone who understood investing could probably help them understand the different risks, like, for example, the liquidity issue. A lot of people invest and they don't think about liquidity. They don't understand that it's always much easier to get your money into an investment than it is to get your money out. Tell me if you've ever seen this before. Let me know if you've ever gone through this, where you pour yourself into a real estate investment. You pour a bunch of money in, and then when it's time to get the money out, it's like pulling teeth. It takes years and years and years.